Mhm. Yeah, one second. I can find it. So All right, so we have our window and door schedule. So we simply take the symbol from the window and door schedule and we place it at each door and at each Francis, each door and each window. So here we have D1 here for the front door. For the back door, we have D2. Bedroom doors, D3. Bathroom door, D4. For the windows, in the living and kitchen, we have W1. And the window at the porch and the window at the back here, that's gonna be W2. So we can copy this and edit it. Copy. Let's edit this to W2. So we have three more windows, the two bedroom windows and the bathroom window. The bedroom window was W3. We can copy this. This is W4. The W3. Oh, all right, so let's double check if we need to put any internal dimensions. All right, so we're gonna need to dimension the width of the bathroom because there's no dimension that captures that measurement. So can turn on the nearest mode in object snap. And so this is a very simple design, so we don't need much internal dimensions. All right, so that is it for your floor plan. Let us now move over to our foundation plan. So before we put in the windows, walls, and everything else, we had copied only the walls from the floor plan. So now we're gonna make our foundation plan from this copy. Yeah. Ryan, right? Right. Bye. Yeah. They lived in for the the symbols. Consider it up. Yeah, need us get it used to get to 1,200 sites. Well, I see not all right, so for our foundation plan, you are going to highlight your entire join. Pick. And then you're going to press J, enter. Shortcut for join, J, enter. As we said before, your foundation change will always be, and this is for strip foundation, will always be 3 times the width of your wall. So your wall is 150, your foundation change is going to be 450. So we simply offset 50 on one side and 50 on the other side. So offset command, punch in 150, and you're going to offset the outer line out and the inner lines in. So you want to have 4 concurrent lines all throughout your join. All right, so let's check our layers. All right, so we're gonna make a layer for foundation trench. So type LA for short, LA, enter. And we're gonna make a layer. And we're gonna name it Found Trench. So we're changing the color. We are changing the line type from continuous. You can use hidden too. And here, we change the line width to 0.3. So let's trim up here and then we convert the lines into our foundation trench there. So TR, enter twice. I want to trim it up for it to look like this. To the next side. I so now that your columns are nice and trimmed. Too speedy eye. Oh, slow down, slow down. I'm see where you.
Wow. This is true. I don't see it. Yeah, we do. Yes, well, we have to.
All the lines. And so we're highlighting all of our outer lines. And then we go to our layers and we select found trench. All right, so we're gonna put in our stiffeners. Based on the layout. So we're gonna definitely put one at these two corners. Let's start from here. You can simply select line, place your cursor on the broken line here on the foundation trench. Don't click, just track your mouse, your cursor up. We're gonna see a green broken line. Once it touches the white line and we see a white sorry, a green X come up, we click and we draw our line. Go again. 150? Yeah, 150. So we're tracking this across. Click. And what we can do, we can just close the shape, trace over the wall. So when you hatch it, we can turn it into a block. All right, so let's make a layer for our stiffeners. So LA enter. I'm gonna call this stiffeners. And let us put this in the stiffener layer. Then we are gonna hatch. Go to our hatch section here in the section that says draw on the upper command ribbon. So when we select hatch, we are looking for which part? The changing the layer for the stiffener. Just join the stiffener.
Yes.
All right, so make a layer for your stiffeners. That layer, the line type should be continuous. Line weight default. Give it a color of choice. And then we select line. All right, so from the foundation trench right here, we are not gonna click, we are only just gonna track our line up. Once we see the green X, we click and we draw our line. Line command again, starting from the same place, tracking our line across. Green X, click. And then we can trace over the wall. All right, so from here to here is 150, 150, 300, 300, 150. So we'll go to hatch. I want to select solid hatch. Then we click inside of our stiffener. Then we press close hatch creation. Now, we're going to turn this into a block. So, left to right highlighting method, highlight our stiffener. I'm going to type the word block. B-L-O-C-K. Up here, we're going to give the block a name. We're going to name it L, stiffener. All right, so once again, highlight our stiffener. And then type the word block, B-L-O-C-K. And then here where it says name, you're going to name it L, stiffener. And then press OK. So it's not allowing me to use the quotations. So L stiffener. So now we can mirror this stiffener over to the other side. So highlight our stiffener. And when you turn it into a block, you don't have to highlight the whole thing. Once you click, the whole thing will be highlighted. So you turn it into a solid object. So it's the mirror command. Or we type in the word and then press enter. And now we want to find the midpoint. Every time when you're mirroring anything at all, you have to find the midpoint. So we click, move our cursor upwards.
Okay.
Click again, then press enter. Now we can copy these two. Or mirror them rather. So highlight the two stiffeners at the top. Select mirror command. And now we want to find the midpoint of the bathroom wall right here. Click. Move our cursor to the left. Click again. Then press enter. All right, so because the door for the bedroom, we had offset the door from the wall 150, so a stiffener can go here and a stiffener can go here. So we can copy the stiffener from the top right corner. We hold it at the top here, corner at the top as the base point. Click. And we are pasting it at bedroom 2. So same procedure, copy this stiffener from the patio, only from the corner. I'll paste it at the corner. I'm gonna put stiffener here, stiffener here. So copy this. All right, so the span of this wall more than likely is longer than 20 feet. All right, so the span of this wall is 27. And we say that wherever we have a straight span of wall that is 20 feet or more, you're going to need a stiffener. So we're going to make an eye stiffener. Select line command. We want to find the center of this wall here. So we can track across from the midpoint of our foundation trench. Click. All right, so here it is, midpoint. And then we're going to offset up 150, down 150. Because the length of the stiffener is 300. So up 150, down 150. We're going to delete this midline here. Trace over the wall. And we're going to hatch inside, solid hatch. Come on. We need them. Stiffness are to provide structural support, right, for the walls. So you put the stiffness to prevent. So for example, in earthquake, case of an earthquake, provide structural rigidity. for the walls. The stiffeners have extra steel in them. Hmm? Yes, they have like, if you go on a construction site, it's like the steel. Yeah, when in tight, yes, that is got stiff. All right, so we could put a T stiffener here and one here and then call it a day. All right, so select line here between the bedroom and the kitchen. Place your line, your cursor on the foundation change, track it up, click. Place your cursor at the same place, tap on the foundation change, track it across. Let's turn off mirrors. Click. From here, foundation change, tap all line going up, click, and then we trace over the wall lines.
The fifth one where the bathroom and the bedroom. There is some.
Right here.
Yeah.
No, we would need to put any there.
Okay, so why we sent it to a chart?
Yes. Or if we just evenly distribute the stiffness, so it provides the right amount of structural rigidity without making the building too inflexible. So let's touch section. Turn this into a block. Name it T stiffener. Turn this into a block as well. I stiffener. Yeah, that's. Yeah, yeah. All right, so we're copying this. And if we're gonna mirror it. Yes, instead of copying this, mirror it. I like this stiffener in the center right here in between the bedroom and the kitchen. Use the mirror command. Find any one of the midpoints between the object and its destination. Click. Pull your cursor out to the left. Click again. Press enter. All right, so that is it for your stiffeners. Yeah. All right, come in. All right, so you're gonna paste that. Yes, I'm gonna show you how to do that in a second. That shows you your material for your finish.
So, you see,
All right, so to get that symbol here, you're going to select circle, circle command, make one in the kitchen here. Click. This circle, no specific size, it's just a symbol. Mine in zero layer. Everybody has this circle. All right, so what? Somebody asking about the size? No specific size, it's a symbol. All right, so where we have line here, instead of picking the regular line command, we're gonna press the drop down arrow below line, and we're gonna select the option spline. Select spline. So you can click anywhere on your circle. And you have to turn off your author mode for this operation. And you simply click from side to side. And this is how you also draw your electrical wires in your electrical plan. If you're not picking up an endpoint, like myself here, you can just draw it past the circle and then trim it off afterwards. But if you find an endpoint, you simply press enter. So one half of the circle, you will hatch using one of the ANSI hatches, and then the other half, we're going to hatch using concrete, AR concrete. So go back to hatch. And we're going to use ANSI 37. ANSI 37. And we click in the top half of our circle. So as you can see, it come up technically looking like a solid hatch. So what you do in this case is to change the hatch pattern scale. So right here, where we see the number 1, we're going to change the hatch pattern scale. So let's put it to 20 and see how it looks. Right. Let's use 30. All right, let me change my layer. So trainees always look out for that. Sometimes when you use the hatch command, depending on the hatch pattern scale, it might come out as a solid hatch. It's not malfunction and it's not the wrong thing you press. You just need to change the scale. All right, so we're gonna hatch the lower half. This ANSI 36. All right, so for the concrete hatch, we are looking for, here it is, AR conc. The short for concrete, AR conc. Click. And then we click the lower half of our circle. Now, we click it, the lines turn blue, but we don't see any hatch. What is the reason for that? Wonderful, the scale. So we change it back from 30 to 1. Let me change my layer. All right, so we want to label both parts. The top parts, we're going to label it two-way reinforcement. And as we said, the W with the slash beside it means width, two-way reinforcement with 12 millimeter diameter bars. And the section that says see details 2 and 3, we can omit this part for this one. And then the other part says 150 millimeter thick concrete floor slab. So we're going to use a multi-leader. So on your home tab, in the annotation section, we're looking for this circle here with a line and an arrow attached. Right? It says multi-leader. So we click on top of the circle. I'm going to have to change the text height when you're finished. It says two-way reinforcement. Two-way with 12 millimeter. And to get the diameter symbol up the top here, look for the symbol icon. It has the at sign. Click, and it gives you the different symbols: degrees, plus, minus, diameter, almost equal, angle, etc., etc. We're looking for diameter. So the third one on the list, click diameter bars. Click anywhere on the screen and your text will stay. But we don't want our text to be this large. Want it to fit within the space.
Multi-leader to the back side.
Yeah, multi-leader. So we're going to click on our multi-leader. Right, click properties, and we're going to change the text height. So we can make it about 0. Let's see how 0.5 looks. Make it 0.7. Let's see how that looks. And let's work with 0.7. Can make the offset, the text from the dimension line, can make it, or the leader line, can make it a bit smaller. So right click properties. Go back down to text. All right, so we see landing gap. Can change it from 2 to 1. Change the landing gap from 2 to 1. In fact, we can even probably use 0.5. But all of that space is not necessary. 0.5. You can make your arrow size smaller as well if you wish. The arrowhead size, I'm gonna put mine down to 1. And instead of doing the whole thing over, we can just copy this, place it on the side that has a concrete hatch. And then we edit the text, 150mm thick concrete floor slab.
What about the property?
So properties, and then scroll down to text, and you're gonna see text height.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think we had used 0.7 for the text height. So this is now 150mm thick. 50. HK. Concrete. Floor slab. So this symbol, you can just place it randomly throughout your foundation plan. So it doesn't have to be in every room, just place it randomly.
The second one is concrete, right? Second concrete.
Yeah, AR count. Right, so those 4 places will do. You don't have to put it into every room. It's just to show what the floor is, how the floor is constructed. All right, so next step, we are going to dimension our foundation, and then we're going to use same multi-leader to make some callouts, one for each type of stiffening. The thing that we just finished using the multi-leader, let us just do the callouts first, and then we do the dimensioning. So you're going to select circle, command, and you're going to make a circle around one of each type of stiffener. So a circle around an eye stiffener, in doing this one, we only have one eye stiffener. The circle around the eye stiff now. Copy. Paste one around a L stiff now. Paste one around a T stiff. We can copy one of our multi-leaders. Text edit. So quotation T is stiffener. So T stiffener, I'm gonna put C4/S-02. Your stiffener plan would be on the second page of your structural plan. So that is S for structural, O2 second page. 4 fourth item. Copy. Place it on the L stiffener. Text edit. L stiffener C 3 SO2. No, sorry, my bad. I think that's gonna be 2SO. So T sigma is 4, L sigma is 3, I sigma is 2. Yeah. These are elevation symbols. Alright, so we're going to mention the foundation plan. Mention the foundation plan, and as you can probably pick up by now, as said in, I think it was the very first class, when we're looking at the construction joints, that the foundation plan is the simplest joint in your joint set. Simplest joint in a joint set. So now, going to your dimensions layer, ADIMS, go to annotate, select dimension linear, let's start from the simplest side. So, the floor plan has 3 levels of dimension. The foundation plan has only 2 levels of dimension, because they don't have any openings, right? So it's just the foundation trench and room size and the overall length and width. So the first level is the foundation trench and the room size. So click, on one edge of the foundation trench, outer edge, and then click the inner edge. And you should see 450, 1,000, sorry, 1 foot 6. Right, so once you have made one dimension, you simply are going to select dim continue. So, all right, so from here, we are going to select dim continue, which is this white icon here, and it allows us to continuously dimension our drawing. So we're simply going to click this, the start and end point of each foundation trench. Once you're finished, you press escape. So dimension linear again. We're gonna dimension the overall from one end all the way to the next end. Try to make your dimensions as neat as possible and evenly spaced. All right, so let's do the top now. Dimension linear. Foundation trench. Dim continue. First part of trench. Second. First line, second line. All the way over to bathroom trench here and here. Then your overall dimension here down to here. Linear again. First point of trench, second point. Right all the way out. Then continue. Click. Click. First point, second point. Escape when you're finished. Linear again. So from one end all the way to the extreme opposite end. All right, so for the front now. First point, second point. Inner, outer. First point, second point. Overall. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna make our details for our foundation plan. So in the field, we usually just copy and paste them from join to join. Let me show you an example because they're the same in every join. But for the purpose of this class, we're going to be join them from scratch. All right, so for example, this is the L stiff now, showing all the stirrups or the ties rather run. That one now. We link it back on the class first. The class first get to it. All right, so let's copy them so we have what to look off of. What I just saw you go train is when in a class, you have to learn it the long way, but in the field, shortcut for days. But for now, we have to learn how to do it from scratch. All right, so Alright, so let's start off with the simplest one first. Let's see if we can replicate it. So we're gonna try the actual size in terms of 1 in 50, and then we're gonna scale it up. So let's redraw our stiffener. It's 300. Let me change my layer. Change back to the layer. Let's make a layer for them, just because. So we can call it stiffener details. You can just put D for short, stiffener D for details. Put it in white. So we're drawing a rectangle, 300 by 150, 300 vertical measurement, 150 horizontal measurement. Yeah, so this is 300. This is 150. Highlight the whole thing. Type J, enter. J for join. And we said that for your steel caging, you need a minimum concrete cover of 2 inches. I believe recently the building code has changed it to 3 inches. But most people still, as far as I know, probably work with the 2 inches. So 2 inches is gonna be 50. So we're gonna offset inwards. Let's do 25. So we're offsetting in 25. Offset in 25. And then we're gonna offset in again 12. So we're gonna use a nice little command, one of my favorite commands, to get the corners of your steel tie to be rounded and not angular. So this 1/2 inch steel bar here, the diameter is 12 millimeters. So you want the radius for this to be 12. So you're gonna type the word, you're gonna learn a new command. You're gonna type the word fillet, Fillet. And in your command line, down here, stretch this out. So in your command line, you have undo polyline radius trim multiple. You're gonna select radius. It says specify fillet radius. You're gonna punch in 12. Wait a 1 second. The diameter is 12, so the radius should be 6. 6 rather. Punch in 6. Press enter. Now you're gonna select these two lines. Seeing it? And it turns the corner of your rectangle into a curve. Press space bar to repeat the command and simply click the other two lines on the other side. Do the same for the base. Space bar, click, click, space bar, click, click. Go again. And the outside one now, the radius for the outside one is going to be 12. So fill it again. The radius for the inside one is 6. Radius for the outside one is 12. So click on the two lines. Turn it into a wonderfully neat curve. And if we want the curve to be smoother, we can even make, instead of using 12, so let's use something bigger than 12. We want the curve to be smoother. Let's use 20. Let's try 20. Fillet. Radius 20. Yeah, 20 look nice. All right, so you're gonna select circle command. And when you put your cursor near to the inner curve, you're gonna see a white cross come up. You're gonna click that right white cross. Let's go again. Select circle command. Once you put your cursor on the curve, you'll see a white cross come up here. That says center. You're gonna click on that. Punch in 6. Press enter. And then we're gonna hatch it solid. Hatch inside the circle solid. These are your main steel bars. So highlight it, mirror to the next side. Highlight both of them, mirror them to the bottom. Oh, what did I press? Mirror. Use the midpoint. Click. Enter. So the only thing left now is this little hook. Only thing left is that hook. All right, so as you know, these joints are mostly representational, so you don't have to get it perfect. So from the end point here, where the curve meets the straight line, let us use our turn on our polar tracking, and we're gonna put it at 45 degrees. Turn on the polar tracking from the endpoint here. Want it to say 315 degrees. And we can make the length of this line about 30. It looks a bit short. Let's make it longer. Let's make it 50. So ensure that your polar tracking, the green tracking line is on and it says 315 degrees. Punch in 50. Then we're gonna offset this line. Let's offset it 10. So it's gone over too much. Offset it 8. Right, let's try 8. Offset. All right, let's do 8. Close off the end. Let's fillet. Fillet. Radius. Let's do 6. Let's try. All right, so highlight the outer line, copy. You're gonna paste it over itself. So just click midpoint or anywhere. So copy it and just paste it back at the same point. Then type in fillet. Radius 12. Click on the line. And then click on the curve. We can trim here. TR, enter. If you have OCD, you can fillet this part to make it look smooth. But as you see, when I zoom out, it is not visible to the naked eye. But if you want to fillet this part, you can use a radius of 6, and it goes perfectly around the bar. Now allow you to fillet it 6 at all. Let's see. Is it that something is disappearing when you're doing the fillet? Okay. Right. Just mirror it using your polar tracking. So just highlight this section here. All right, so this is a polyline, just I remember. So you are going to have to explode. So remember that chain is, if you recognize, the explode symbol is right here. So once you use polyline or you use join to get it back to its individual components, use the explode command. So explode him. Select this part here, these 3 lines, they go curve or the hook, mirror, and we're gonna mirror across a 45-degree angle. Right? So using polar tracking, see the tracking line comes up, click, press enter, and then we trim. Beautiful, beautiful. Look at that. And then you oh, this one, this one. Over the that means you have a couple of pieces of silk. Undo, couple of pieces of silk again, and then we can see. Yeah. All right, so you're gonna hatch inside of this concrete hatch a AR conch. AR conch. Change your scale. I make mine smaller, 0.1. All right, that's too small. 0.5, too large. 0.2. Let's try 0.3. All right, that can work. All right, so my hatch is not going inside, so I'm just gonna trace over the Just trace over the lines using polyline. Doesn't have to be perfect. And my hatch wasn't going in. So I have to just use polyline, trace over the area and then hatch it again. Here we go. So you can always do that trainees if you're trying to hatch an area and the hatch is not going in or it is saying no defined boundaries or boundaries not closed, just trace over the area using polyline, hatch it, and then delete back the polyline. Right, so this is my eye stiffener. All right, so as you can see, size of this stiffener is the same size as what we have here in the scale 1 to 50. But when you have your stiffener, because they're so small, you will have to use a scale that makes them larger. So we can use a scale of about 1 in 10 or 1 in 15. In this case, we can probably use 1 in 10 because this joint is small, so it won't take up that much space on your page. So 50 divided by 10 is 5, so we can scale this up by 5, and then it becomes scale 1 to 10. All right, so remember that everything that we have done thus far is scale 1 to 50. But because the stiffeners, they are small, and we want to show them large on your joint paper, we have to scale them up. So in order to scale it up from a scale of 1 to 50 to a scale of 1 to 10, we simply divide 50 by 10, we get 5. So that means we'd have to scale this up or stiffener up by 5. And then that will turn it into scale 1 to 10. All right, tell you what, let's make life easy. Let's not scale it yet. Let us dimension it first, explode our dimensions, and then scale it up. Because when you scale it up and you put on the dimensions, it's not going to say change it by 150. It's going to say whatever 300 times 5 is. It's going to say 1,500 by, I think what, 750. So let us dimension it first. Annotate. All right, here we go. All right, so my dimensions are coming up large, so I have two options. Either I edit this to make it smaller, or I can scale up my stiffener. When I put on the scale, the dimensions, I can double click and text edit. That seems to be the easier option, so let us do that. So scale up your stiffener, highlight it, type the word scale or find the scale icon here. Click on your stiffener. It says specify scale factor, punch in 5, press enter. So now we are going to dimension it. Just the length and the width. And see what comes up. 750 instead of 150. But we know how to fix that. So what you're going to do, you are going to double click on your dimension and you're going to change the measurement. So this is going to be 150, enter, square brackets, 6 inches. I do the same thing for this side. It's going to be 300, so double click. 300, enter, square bracket, 1 foot, 0 inches. You will have to do a lot of that when you scale up your joint. Scale up or scale down. Let's toggle with it until it stays where you want it. You double click it, the text. See what else. Right, so let's see if we can make the L stiffen and then we call it a night. What should they? You have a charger? All right, remember to save as you go along. Trainees, hold on CTRL on your keyboard right now and press S. Control S. AutoCAD is a very ungrateful software. Sometimes we just crash, you just shut off, all kind of thing can go on. And sometimes AutoCAD do those things in exam, which is the worst time. Yeah, man, then me have student come to me and a ball living here water say MSBA done and the software eat it. So, yeah, man. All right, so let us make the L. I watch you now. No? Look, we can let us copy the I stiff now. So copy the I stiff now. Copy. Delete the hatch from outside of the stiffener. Delete the hatch. And if you notice, the L stiffener is just a combination of two I stiffeners with an extra steel bar there. In fact, it's not even an extra one. It's just a combination. So what we're going to do is that we're going to copy this now. Move it one side. We are going to rotate this second copy 90 degrees. So we can pick at the base point here. And we want to carry our cursor downwards. Ensure that your auto mode is on. So we're going to click on the outer line here. Explode, click explode, or type the word explode and press enter. You turn this sideways. You're gonna click on this the outer line, type explode to bring it back down to its individual lines. Then this line here on the left, we're gonna delete it. Delete. Now we're gonna highlight the entire thing. Select move. I'm gonna hold it by this part here. Right up so you can see it. Hold it by the end here. And we're gonna paste it right at the lower left edge here. And then we're just gonna trim up to make it resemble this piece here. So recognize that the curved piece go behind. So let's trim up so it looks like that. The TR enter twice. All right, better yet for here, we can just highlight and trim. 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 So let's see which one goes behind. All right, so the new one goes behind. All right, so trim out the center here. TR enter twice. Trim. Trim the curve. Trim this piece. And look at that. Just like that, you make an L stiff now. Nice and easy. So for you make number one, you're gonna roll. So you're gonna hatch concrete hatch and then dimension. And you can even borrow the dimensions from this one. This one. So trim here and trim the curve that was here. All right, so let's borrow from our neighbor, copy, paste, copy. Let me see how we dimension it in this one here. So we don't have to do any more dimension that we need to. All right, so just dimension those two sections. Concrete hatch. Yeah, so I'm just making a rectangle to hatch within because my hatch is not going in. All right, so hatch. One, two, three. Yeah. So yes, that is to say that those boundaries are not closed. All right, so based on the time, let's call it here. Next class, we are gonna do the T-stiffener, and we're gonna do the section through the foundation footing. And then we move on to the roof plan. All right, so stop it here. Stop share.